What up, everybody? It's Rockman. So, I've been playing quite a bit of Medieval Dynasty, and I was looking around trying to find some guides on how to make some money. There's some stuff out there, but I think that I've found a couple ways that might be, a little different, and in some cases better. So I want to go ahead and share with you my top 3 gold making methods for Medieval Dynasty on the Oxbow updates. So the first one is going to be cooking. It's a great influx of money at the very beginning of the game. Each season of spring, you get to put your stuff down. Each fall, you get to reap it. You also get 2 hits on the cabbage right here. So this is the one I would recommend you start with. Cabbage and raw meat. That's all it's going to take. You go to your hunting lodge. You have them get you some meat and some leather. I wouldn't go full meat. I would just go, 60-40 and then flip it a little bit down the road, as we're going to be talking about another method that actually makes far more money than this and is more consistent, but also requires some additional setup. All this requires is a field and some cabbage and a hunting lodge, as well as some bowls that are made from logs. I think it's like $50 for the schematic. You buy it, you make some pottage. It's going to make some food resource for the first year or two, very easy to handle. And then you can use that to buy the other ones, your stew for carrots, your soup for beet roots, and then of course you can come on over for your onions and make the meat with gravy. These do require plates and roasted meat, so you have to roast the meat and then do the onions. I usually have my cook as my first production person, and I have them just focus on these while I take the other 3 out. It will also unlock your vegetable soup. Vegetable soup is a very important and useful item. It's worth a lot of money at the end of the game, which is really the usefulness of it, but it also is worth a ton of food to help you get those massive villages running and keep them running as well. So that's actually method 1. Now method 2 requires a little bit of setup here. First off, it requires a mine. Right? Now mines look like this. They're just holes in the side of mountains. And we're actually going to be making copper tools. Now when you go into a mine, you're going to have bears. But what you can do is you can build near the mine, right? And when you build near the mine, you see my house right there. You can stop predators and prey from spawning in that area because, they're not going to want to be where people are. This will give you unfettered access to a mine, like this one. Now, I've already mined quite a bit of this for the season. There's some salt. What you really, really want is you want this guy. Want this copper. And if I can find a tin deposit, that's tin. We're going to use that in a second. But the big one is copper, right? For making the tools. You get your copper, and you're going to want to go back to your smithing station. Now, these guys, I believe, are you can get about 100 copper per season if you clear out the mine. And you can come on over to the forge, make copper bars. You can also make tin bars. You don't want to turn them into bronze because we're making copper tools, right? But if you're gathering both, might as well smelt them down. You can make pretty much any copper tool. Some people really like knives. Some people really like hammers. They're about the same in materials no matter what you do so far as cost to profit ratio. You see here, price 180, price 90. But the 180 requires, twice as many copper bars, so you're really not getting that much. It's personal preference. I go with the copper hammers just because it's 3 seconds on the craft timer instead of 6 seconds for the knife. But the knives are lighter. When I'm going to sell, use a resource storage outside of the village that I'm selling to, so I can just put everything that I make here in the village in my resource storage, so I don't have to walk long distances overburdened. And that's the second money-making method. Now, the final one involves those 10 bars that we got. Because we, you know, everything, I want everything to synergize and not be too crazy of an ass to go get. So it's actually those 10 bars. And what we're going to do is we're going to take those 10 bars over. And remember that hunting lodge I was talking about? How you flip the meat and the leather? That's because of this. Now, I've looked all over this the schematics, and I really feel like this is your biggest bang for the buck, and it's not that hard to get so far as like early game progression. Most of these can be made at their base level. I believe they all can. And your limiting factor here is actually going to be the leather, not the tin, but you're already going to be in the mine, so you might as well grab some tin while you're there. And then these guys sell for a whopping 150. You get 75 per, and that's with no perks, right? That's none of your like skill perks or your you know, your diplomacy for your extra cash and all that. That's just flat out 75 every single time. And then, you know, other than your hunting lodge, you can get leather from hunting animals. And you can find it. For me personally, where I'm at, there are some bison over in this area. I don't know, it's not showing it to me. Probably because I already killed it this spring. They're right there. I see it now. It's grayed out because I already killed it. So from the village, right there, there are some more up and around this area, I think. Oh, right there. There's one right there, and then there's some moose, and then there's more moose. So if you really wanted to go heavy on the leather and make like a trip, like a hunting trip, I'd go here. But yeah, you get all the leather you can. You get the 10 bars, and it's 75 bucks, like I said, per pouch. And when you're looking at it from a yearly income, your food can go anywhere from, you know, 2 to 8K in selling based on how big your village is and how much food they need and how big your fields are. It's scalable, which is nice, right? Scalable and reliable income. The next one, you know, the copper tools are fixed based on how much copper you can get. So you can go to the mine, clear out all the copper every single time. You can actually assign workers to work in the mine if you have the technology. It's in your building. You need 5K, so that's why I don't have mine set up. But you do have the ability to make a, what's it called? Extraction. Excavation shed. On the excavation shed, you can go in and I don't have anybody working there. You can have them work copper, or it's not that much, man. It's like 5, 10, 20, depending on a person's skill per day. Mine was like 5. It helps, but it's not crazy. If you want the big paychecks, the 1,000 per season, you're gonna need access to that mine. And then the pouches, depending on if I have the leather to sustain it, I think I can probably pull, realistically, probably 5-6K a year out of that. So 4K for the copper tools, and that's very consistent. You're gonna get 4K a year. You're gonna need about 1,000 a year, guaranteed. 4K plus, you know, I would say 6K is safe for the pouches a year until you can get your leather operation going insane. It is nice that it's scalable, where 10 is your limiting factor, but you know, you need so much more leather than you need 10. It's really hard to run out of 10 if you're mining a mine every year or every season. I think you're looking at about 15-16K a year just with these 3 methods, and it's really not that much time investment on your part. And then you can, you know, do whatever you need to do with your settlement in the meantime. So, you guys like the video? you know, I'd appreciate a like, comment, subscribe, any of that kind of stuff. Other than that, I'll see you in the next one. Stay healthy.